Hey, it's Rocky Tapscott here. And what I have here in front of me is our AI tool. And this is 5 parts. This one here, actually, it's 6 parts. But I want to run you through the Hell Island GPS tool, which is sort of giving people in any market, depending on what you do, who you are, who your audience is. It lets us look into their minds and find out, sort of does an x-ray and helps us find out what they're thinking now, what they're looking at, what sort of problems they have that they want to solve. Rather than us sending out a survey and people will give you the answers they think you want to hear quite often, and everybody's got an opinion until you ask them to pull out a credit card, and then they go, oh, I don't really want that. They think they want that, or they think you want them to tell you they want that. But when you ask them to pay for something, it's really got to solve a present pain that they're suffering with, or they're something that they're completely fed up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through this, and we'll do a deep dive into how this works. This is for course creators, which is one of my main markets, and I'll take you through step by step and show you how it works. And then if you have a different market, which you're probably going to, if you'd like me to run through this for free for you, just comment below. I can't do it for everybody, but I'll do it for a representative sample of the people in the group here, and we'll be able to get some PDF documents or Word documents or Google documents for different markets, different niche markets that you'll be able to look at and kind of get an idea based on what you're doing, what potentially your prospects are really fed up with and what they really want to buy. Because this is the thing, people will pay to solve problems they're fed up with. If it's a superficial thing, they're like, oh yeah, well, I'm not getting enough leads, well, whatever. But once you boil it down, I'll show you how this works, and you'll be amazed at how deep you can go into the mindset of people who have this problem, whatever it is, that are super fed up with it. So first of all, we go to the tool here, and I'll just copy and paste this in because I didn't want to have to sit there and write it because it's boring watching me typing it out. But I'll read it to you. It says, welcome to the Hell Island GPS. Simply tell me who your best customers are and what problem you solve, and I'll break down their biggest present pains. And this is the thing, present pain. If you're solving something that it's like a future gain where they might do something in the future, it doesn't work anywhere near as well as if you sell a solution to a present pain, something that they're lying in bed awake at night thinking, oh, I wish I could get rid of this thing, whatever this thing is. So I pasted in here, my best customers are mission-driven experts who have an online course or coaching program that truly helps people. The problem I solve is to help them put their course or coaching program in front of hundreds of high-ticket buyers who are fed up and looking for the exact solution they are offering, right? So that's this niche, one of the niches I like to work with, people in this thing, where they've got something that really helps people, but they're just not selling enough of it, or if they've got spare capacity and they really want to get their mission out there. They're not just trying to make a few bucks. They have a mission, they're on a mission, and they draw to them a crowd of people, a community of people around them who they want to help, and in turn those people help them to spread their mission. So once we have that in there, we just click on here. You'll watch it see it's thinking here, and it'll go to work, and it will start digging down into what people who are in this market have this solution are thinking. You'll see it goes through there, and I'll go back to the top when it's finished digging here, and we'll walk through this step by step, and you'll see what it comes up with. Okay, so it's finished there now. And then we'll come up here back to the top, and let's walk through what it said. Let me break this down into a detailed pain analysis for mission-driven course creators and coaches. 1. The problem and pain points. Core problem. Mission-driven experts with transformative courses and coaching programs are struggling to reach the right high-ticket clients consistently. That's the big picture problem. Immediate pain points. Financial impact. Their bank account doesn't reflect the value they provide. They watch their savings dwindle while trying to figure out marketing. Monthly revenue feels like a roller coaster ride. It's going up and down, and they can never get some consistent cash flow. And they're forced to take on low-paying clients just to keep the lights on. Time and energy drain. Hours spent creating content that gets lost in the social media void. So there's so much content being created every second of every day that if you're not standing out some way, you just get lost in the maelstrom of never-ending content. Endless tweaking of ads that don't convert. Constant worry about where the next client will come from. Late nights spent trying to understand complex marketing strategies. So this is the time, energy that they're spending and the mental bandwidth they're burning through trying to get those things right. The emotional toll. Deep frustration knowing they could help more people if they could just reach them. Imposter syndrome creeping in when enrollment numbers are low. Anxiety about letting down their family due to inconsistent income. And guilt about not serving enough people with their solutions. So these are the emotions people are feeling. And we'll dig into some of these and you'll see how this really gets to the crux of problems. Their most painful daily experiences. Marketing misery. Opening their ad account to see money spent with minimal returns. Checking email to find 0 new leads despite consistent effort. Scrolling through social media, seeing less qualified competitors thriving. Realizing their powerful message is reaching only a fraction of potential clients. So they know that if they could reach more people, they could help more people. They'd make more money too. But for the experts and the course and coaching program owners that I like to deal with, money is the third thing. What they want to do is they want to help their audience. They want to look good to their audience. They want to be seen as a positive influence in their lives. And if they make money, great, but money is not the overriding factor. Business management struggles. Looking at an empty calendar where discovery calls should be. And discovery calls are something that once we get into this more deeply, I'll show you never have to do another discovery call or strategy session or whatever you call them. Because people know that whatever you call it, it's going to be a sales pitch. And as a mission-driven person, you don't want to be a salesperson. You want to be helping people. And every minute you spend on the phone is a minute you don't get to spend helping, coaching, changing people's lives. And they're not comfortable. Most people on the phone are not comfortable. The other thing is it's very hard to get someone on the phone these days, especially younger people. They won't take phone calls because they feel they're confrontational. They do it with text. They communicate with text. And later on in this program, I'll show you how we are closing high-ticket sales just with DM, text messages, email messages, things like that. But for now, we'll go through here. Facing another month of barely breaking even. Having to explain to their spouse why the business isn't growing faster. Turning down opportunities because they're stuck in day-to-day operations. And this is so common. You're stuck doing the filing and the accounting and all the other things that you have to do, what you feel you have to do. If you had a lot of money, you could just pay for it to be done. But when you don't have the cash flow and the deal flow, you're stuck there doing it yourself. A lot of times after hours and on the weekends when you should be with your family or friends or doing something you'd prefer. So client acquisition challenges. Dealing with tire kickers who waste time in discovery calls. Fighting for attention in overcrowded social media spaces. Watching potential clients choose cheaper, inferior solutions, which this is the sort of thing that people who are on a mission, who know they have the best stuff, hate this. I know I hate this because people burn through hours, months, years going down the rabbit hole with something that's not going to help them. And quite often they'll buy program after program after program and none of them help. And by the time they get to the person who can actually help them, they have no money left. They're burnt out. They've got no mental bandwidth left either. They think it's their fault. And sometimes it is their fault. They don't follow through, admittedly. A lot of people will spend money on courses and never follow through. But the people who do follow through, they try these things and give it their best shot. And it doesn't work. And it's just so frustrating when you know you can help people and they finally get to your course and they go, I don't have any money left, and they just think, this doesn't work for me. I'm a failure. I'm never going to get this. It's heartbreaking for everybody. struggling to communicate their true value to prospects, the personal impact, lying awake at night wondering if they should give up, feeling disconnected from their original mission and purpose, missing family events because they're always working on the business, comparing themselves to other coaches who seem to have it all figured out. And honestly, most people don't have it all figured out. But if you're just a little bit better than the other person, it can look like you're crushing it. Sometimes all you have to do is be a little bit better. Just get things dialed in a bit better, and you can make a massive difference. Identity challenges. Questioning if they're really cut out for entrepreneurship. And that's a big one, because it's easy to go and get a job, but it's like a jail cell to anybody who wants to be free and who wants to help people and who has that entrepreneurial bent that really wants to get out there and make something for themselves. It's a prison cell. And a lot of times people give up on their dream because they can't get this right. It's very sad. Feeling like a fraud when they can't consistently attract clients, doubting their expertise despite years of experience, and wrestling with charging premium prices despite knowing their worth. And if you charge premium prices, you get premium clients. If you charge $50 or $10 for something, you get people who bitch and moan and complain and won't follow through. If you can charge premium prices, you get people who listen to you, who pay attention, who follow through and get results most of the time. Operational headaches, wasting time on low-impact activities that don't generate revenue, managing multiple tools and platforms that don't work together, trying to be everywhere at once on social media. And that's one of the things a lot of people teach. You want to be all over the internet. For Gary Vaynerchuk in particular, he's always, great guy, brilliant. He's so successful. He's always talking about building a personal brand. He has a whole team of people working for him, spewing out content 24/7. So as a single entrepreneur or a small business owner, you just can't do that. So it's very hard to be on social media everywhere in front of everybody, right? And that's sort of the thing that people say, okay, well, you need to be doing this. Well, ideally, you perfect one channel and you get massive exposure there over time, but we'll get to that a bit later. Struggling to maintain work-life boundaries. Future fears, who worry about the long-term sustainability of their business. Do I really want to keep doing this for the rest of my life when I seem to suck at it? Is the emotional feeling people have when they're failing, or they appear to be failing, or feel like they're failing because their mission is lagging and they're just not getting it done. Fear of never achieving the impact they know they're capable of. Anxiety about keeping up with changing marketing trends. Concern over building a real legacy through their work. And that's what a lot of people want to be remembered for the change they made in the world. Preferably the good change. Some are remembered for the bad, negative consequences of their actions. But most people want to be remembered for the good they did. Social pressure. Explaining to friends and family that they are still figuring things out. And sometimes this can go on for years. And it's very draining and frustrating. Feeling isolated in their entrepreneurial journey, struggling to network effectively in their industry, and maintaining a confident facade while dealing with internal doubts. Financial stress, calculating how long they can sustain current revenue levels, justifying business expenses to themselves and others. It's really hard when your partner, spouse, wife, husband, significant other sees a credit card statement and you've got all these things on there for business expenses, but you're not getting the revenue and you're not making the sales, you're not getting the income to justify spending tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars on these business expenses. And it can be a real source of financial stress for people, to the point where a lot of people just give up. They go, I can't do this anymore, go and find a job somewhere, and they don't make the massive change in the world that they wanted to, and it's heartbreaking. Dealing with feast or famine income cycles, postponing personal investments or lifestyle improvements, and time management issues, consistently choosing between working in the business or on the business. That's something from the E-Myth. Everybody's pretty much read the E-Myth book. And if you're working in the business, you're myopically focused on day-to-day detail, operations, sales, marketing, all the things, rather than sitting back and looking at the strategic direction of the business and what you want to accomplish. Never finding time for strategic planning or innovation, sacrificing self-care to handle urgent business matters, and struggling to maintain consistent content creation schedules. And everybody's got all sorts of pressing issues all the time, and our calendars get full, and there are so many things to do, we feel, especially if we don't have a VA or staff or somebody we can delegate to. There are so many things we need to do, we feel, to keep things on track, that when you don't have the income to pay for it, we've got to do it all ourselves, and it can be a nightmare. So to summarize this, the pains are particularly acute because they know they have a solution that could genuinely help people if only they could reach them effectively. The gap between their potential impact and their current reality is what keeps them up at night. Now, this is a big overview, and I'll put a link to a document with this in it. But what I want to do is, once you get this overview here, what I want to dig down into is some of these. Because once we dig into this, we can find angles and little talking points and niches to expand upon, and we can find the real gold nuggets. So let's look at here somewhere. Deep frustration, knowing they could help more people if they could just reach them. So let's just copy that, and let's go in here. Please dig deeper into the deep frustration, knowing they could help people if they could just reach them. Let's see what that comes up with. See, it's finding all of these frustrations and the ripple effects and the pain and the identity crisis. See how deep it goes there? We'll walk through this again. And what I like to do, I go through each of those critical areas in the first scan, and I will deep dive into the ones that I think are the most painful, the most reflecting of a present pain that someone has. And you get all of this information, and I put it into a document, and then you've got basically content ideas that really hone in on your exact prospect. And when we've finished up with all this data, we can go through these other steps here. And the fed up point treasure map, this shows you the things they're fed up with, the different and desirable way out finder, the only you identifier, which shows teachers why you're the only solution to their problem, because you enter in the problem and it will come out and give you the reasons why people should only use you. The DM trigger creator, that gives you direct messages that get people to act based on the present pains that you told it people have. And the compelling content creator, so you answer a few questions and it gives you articles and short posts that you can actually turn into longer posts and soap opera sequences and things like that. Very powerful. But for now, let's just go through this. This is when I asked it to dig into that one present pain. Let's deep dive into this particular agony. So I just said deep frustration, knowing that could help more people. This pain point is often the most gut-wrenching for mission-driven experts. The emotional depth of unreached impact. The daily frustrations. They scroll through social media and see people desperately asking for help with the exact problem they solve. Now, that's an emotional problem there. They can feel that. They read comments of people making costly mistakes that their program could prevent. So these are the people who have bought program after program after program quite often, but they still have the same problem because they don't realize what the real problem is quite often. And the mission-driven person has the solution. They know what the problem is, and they have the exact solution they need. They watch potential clients waste money on band-aid solutions and time. They can waste years on band-aid solutions that don't create lasting change. They see people giving up on their dreams because they couldn't find the right help. Now, we can go deeper again. We could take this one and ask it to dig deeper into that. So you can get in this real rabbit hole, but you don't do it for everyone. You do it for the ones that you can see have the biggest present pain opportunity for your market. And then you can run through all of these with each present pain or with each topic, and you can create marketing that really speaks to the heart, mind, and soul of your ideal prospects. The weight of responsibility. They carry the burden of knowing their solution could prevent years of struggle. They feel like they're letting people down by not being visible. Now see, each one of these is a topic for a piece of content, for an article, for a short post, for an ad. All right? They feel like they're letting people down by not being visible enough. These people feel this. Course creators who know they have a solution know they're letting people down. It's something that keeps them up at night. It's a present pain. They're probably thinking about it at least every week, and quite often every day. They witness others teaching outdated and harmful methods in their field. They know someone out there is crying themselves to sleep with a problem they could solve. Can you imagine the post you can make about that? This is real life, the pain points that people with courses and coaching programs have, and you're talking right to their soul when you use these ideas to create content around. You're not just going, oh yeah, I'll help you solve your problem. Say you can have a post about someone who wrote to you, or someone you know, or someone who told you they were crying themselves to sleep with a problem they couldn't solve. And you can elaborate on that, and as long as it's true, you don't want to go bullshitting people. But these are the sort of things that real world impact examples, right? These are the sort of things that these course owners can solve, and they're thinking about. They mightn't be able to even express them, but like, I don't know if it was Cialdini or somebody said, you want to enter the conversation that's already going on in your prospect's head. And how many people would know a business owner who just lost $50,000 on a failed launch that their program could have prevented? All right. The coach who's about to quit their practice because they can't find clients when their system could save them. These are real world impacts. The course creator burning out from undercharging who they know they could help scale properly. The expert with transformative knowledge who's staying small because they can't crack the marketing code. So all these course creators could help these people if they have the answer to this present pain. The personal toll. They lie awake thinking about all the people struggling needlessly. They feel physically sick watching competitors with inferior solutions getting all the attention. And these are the people who are out there all over social media. They might have a completely rat shit product, but they've got better marketing. And people buy it, get let down, waste time, and time we can't get back. You can always get money back, but you can't get the time back. And if someone wastes a minute on something that's not going to help them, it's in our best interest to stop that from happening. But we can't if we don't know how. And these are the things that these people are looking to solve. They experience anxiety attacks knowing time-sensitive problems aren't being solved. They battle depression from the gap between their potential and their reach. So this is it's heartbreaking for people. They're sitting there, they have all this knowledge, and they just can't get it in front of the people who need it. Professional frustrations. They have testimonials that prove their method works, but they can't get them in front of the right people. They've spent years perfecting their approach, but their message is getting lost in the noise. They watch less qualified experts gain massive followings through better marketing. They know their solution is more comprehensive, but simpler solutions get chosen. The ripple effect pain. They understand how helping one person positively impacts entire families. And that is so true. They see how businesses fail without their expertise, affecting employees and communities. And when a business fails, there can be 10 to 50 people affected down the line. The families of families, the sons, the daughters, there is so much anxiety, stress, and destruction when just one business fails. And if you had a solution and you could have got it in front of that person, it gives you a pain in the heart area, and it hurts to know that you could have helped them, but it's too late now. They recognize how delayed transformation creates generational setbacks. You waste 2 years, that can completely negatively affect someone's future forever and their family's future. By just not being able to get the right solution at the right time and being able to afford it, and everything lines up, you can completely change your future and your family's future and your entire lineage. You can have them retire early if you just get that information and implement it. They witness how bad advice perpetuates cycles of failure. Identity crisis moments. They question if they're really making a difference in the world because they're not seeing enough people, they're not getting enough, not helping enough people. They wonder if they're honouring their calling effectively. They struggle with feeling like they're hiding their gift. They battle with feeling selfish for not reaching more people. The knowledge burden. They possess solutions to problems they see people struggling with daily, but they just can't get them out there. People don't know they're there. They have systems that could save others years of trial and error. They hold transformative frameworks that could prevent costly mistakes. They've developed shortcuts that could fast-track others' success. The mission pain. Their purpose feels partially fulfilled. Their impact vision remains largely unrealized. Their calling feels bottlenecked by marketing. So if they could just get the marketing right, everything else would fall into place. Their potential for change stays locked inside them. The time pressure. Every day that passes means more people struggling without their help. Each week represents dozens of potential transformations not happening. Every month shows mounting evidence of problems they could have prevented. Years go by while their solution remains hidden from those who need it most. The deeper existential pain. They feel like they're failing their life's purpose. They question if they're being good stewards of their knowledge. They worry about reaching the end of life with potential still locked inside them. They fear never fulfilling their true mission. You can feel these. You can feel how strong these things are. This particular pain point cuts so deep because it's not just about business success, it's about living their purpose. The agony comes from knowing they're sitting on a solution that could genuinely change lives while watching people continue to struggle. It's the difference between where they are and where they know they could be in terms of impact. This isn't just about money or success, it's about the weight of unrealized transformation they could bring to the world. So I'll leave that there for now, but as I said, you can take all of these and you can go deeper. You say, please go deeper on how the years go by while their solution remains hidden from those who need it most. And this remembers what has gone in before and it extrapolates on that. So you can really dig deep into this. And each one of these every month shows mounting evidence of problems. You can do a post about that. You could do a post about failing their life's purpose. All of these things are great ideas for content that really hammers home the fact that for me, I can help people who have courses and coaching programs solve all of these problems because I help them to get their course in front of hundreds and sometimes thousands of people, a lot of them high ticket buyers who can afford to buy their course as long as they knew about it, and they don't pay anything up front. We just split the profits on the back end. So it's a service I do. If you're interested in that and you have a course that really helps people, you need to be on a mission. I can't work with just anybody. But if that sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments below or DM me. And if you would like me to do this for you, I'll put a link to this, as it'll all be in probably a Google Doc, I'd say, below in this post. And you can go and check this all out. If you have a course, and you can maybe extrapolate this without me helping you, you're free to do that. And if you would like me to do a deep dive on something that's completely unrelated to this, whether you help people stay married or rebuild relationships or work with money or whatever it is, I'd like to do a few sort of examples of this so that we've got a range of maybe half a dozen deep dives into different markets that you can use as examples to go and work with to find your own Hell Island. Because what we're looking for, Hell Island GPS means the pains and problems that people have. So we want to be able to take people from Hell Island to Heaven Island. And the opposite of all of these things is Heaven Island. You know, your bank account doesn't reflect the value they provide. Well, it does reflect the value, and it's growing every day. They watch their savings dwindle while trying to figure out marketing. The opposite of that is Heaven Island is my marketing is nailed down. I've got my offer dialed in, and out of the people who see it, 10% of them say, yes, where do I sign? All right. Monthly revenue feels like a roller coaster. Heaven Island is every month my income is growing. It's stable to growing every month. And then if I throw in a launch, I get this super big boost of it. And then we go back to a constantly increasing monthly income. Endless tweaking of ads that don't convert, right? With my ads, I've got them dialed in. I know what to say. I know what to use. This is the exact opposite of Hell Island. You've got Heaven Island. These are the things we can offer people if we have the solution to that, to take them across to Heaven Island. And then we build a bridge, so we can't just get them to jump from Hell Island to Heaven Island. We need to put little stepping stones in the middle. We guide them across the stepping stones because in the middle there's sharks and they don't want to dump in the water and swim across to Heaven Island because they might get eaten by the sharks. So we use mechanisms to kill the sharks, basically, to handle the objections, and we do that all before we make them an offer. And I'll teach you how to do that. We call the 5 P's of pre-selling. We pre-sell all the different things that are potential sharks, and then we use Timer, which is another acronym that I'll take you through in this training, to take away all the objections. So by the time people get up to where we say, give me money, they're pre-sold, and all they have to do is sign the paperwork and we're set. So I hope that helps. And if you'd like me to go through one of these for your market, all I need to know is your best customers, what your best customers are, and the problem you solve. If you'd like to post that below, I'm only going to do half a dozen because it does take a little bit of time. Not that much, as you saw, it's only 10 minutes there. But I'll go through and I'll do half a dozen. I'll share them with everybody. So if you don't want your market exposed in front of everybody, don't go through this because all the people in the group are going to see it. But if you're happy for me to go through this, I'll do half a dozen. And in the future, I might do a couple more. But I really hope this helps you to see how we can dig down using AI and find out what people are thinking about, the problems, the felt pains they have, the present pains, and how we can address them in our marketing.